What's up, movie nerds? It's your girl Cece, and let's get candid about Superman. If you've never heard of Superman before, which impossible, but okay. Well, he's an alien that crash landed on Earth as a baby from the planet Krypton, and he learns how to be a man on Earth with the best ideals of
truth, justice, and the American way.
Being on Earth, he has all of the superpowers and strength in the world. Basically, the creators wanted a guy that could do literally anything, and that's why we love him. Unfortunately, this movie kind of showed the opposite of Superman.
Well, now I'm sad.
Because it's basically 2 hours of him getting his butt kicked by various things, getting showed up by Green Lantern and Mr. Terrific, and barely winning against something that he should have been able to beat. Simply put, most of the movie was watching Clark Kent being stripped from the super and just showing the man.
Lame!
And frankly, that's not what I paid to see. I want my superheroes to be super, the villains to be beaten soundly with a bit of losses along the way, but not all losses. I loved most of the movie in terms of casting, acting, cinematography, and details, but the story just hurt it for me. And yeah, I know I'm in the minority for that.
Don't hate me, Trinity.
But that's just my initial review of the movie. Keep on watching to see the full review and whether or not you want to give this movie a shot. There will be spoilers in the reasons for the rating.
You have been warned.
And let's get this party started.
I mean, really, let's do this, mother!
First up is acting, which I give an 8 out of 10. To be honest, I'm not a huge DC fan, so the only real reason I was in these seats was to see Nathan Fillion on screen, and I am so glad he delivered.
I'm Nathan Fillion.
But for what was given to the actors, I thought the acting was really good. I really loved the casting. I thought everyone really embodied their roles. I mean, David Cornsweet was like one of the most perfect Superman I've seen on screen in a long time, and Nathan Fillion, again, was just chef's kiss as Guy Gardner.
They make his face terrific. How do they work? They make his face?
Now, I really did not care for Lex Luthor's gaggle of lackeys in his flying computer room. Frankly, they were very hokey. But all in all, the acting was really good.
That was totally wicked!
Now for the story and script, which I give a 3 out of 10. This is where I believe the movie really faltered. Now, for superhero movie stories, if Fantastic Four 2015 was a 1 and Spider-Man 2002 was a 10, this seriously lands as a 3. Because some of the story was false to the comics, Superman really did not seem very super. The minor superheroes in the movie seemed a lot more interesting to me.
I'm the best one of all.
And there were just some stupid moments in this movie that really made you question the thought process behind all of the script writing. For the first point, Superman's biological parents were never evil, and they never sent him to Earth just to rule over it or conquer it. Plus, Krypto the Superdog was never this bad, mindless, clueless dog that wasn't trained. He was actually very intelligent and smart.
It's good to see you again, old friend.
And he wasn't Supergirl's dog. He was Superman's dog. And also, Supergirl, not a party girl. Honestly, Supergirl just seemed like she had no thoughts behind her eyes whatsoever and can't even train a dog. It's kind of sad. I didn't like it. I didn't appreciate it. Next point. Superman got beat almost the entire movie on all 3 fronts. Emotionally, mentally, and physically.
Get out of the pressure!
Now, I know a good movie has some conflict here and there, but come on, this is Superman. You want way more points in his corner than against him. And you definitely want him to be stronger than Hawk Girl or some random that I've never even heard of until I saw this movie. Now, don't get me wrong. Mr. Terrific was, pun intended, very terrific.
I think she's neat.
Seriously, like I'm so glad this movie actually introduced me to him. And frankly, his fight scene was what we wanted to see in Superman. It was just so fluid and beautiful, and it was just a magnificent 5 minutes of the movie that was just like, wow.
How awesome was that?
But when a non-super-powered hero is better than the titular character of your movie, you've got a problem. Third point, the Justice Gang had way more wins under their belt in this entire movie, and they were just way more interesting to watch.
Can't you be like that, huh?
Like I said, Mr. Terrific's fight scene was so cool to see, and I loved Green Lantern's little fight scene at the end with his cool Green Lantern movements and stuff. It was was really good. And they just weren't getting beat the entire movie, that's also a plus. Lastly, there were just some stupid things that were in this movie, so let's talk about them. What I want to know is why Superman is taking war and politics into his own hands, especially since he's a reporter and he knows the implications that happen because of that.
Oh, that can't be good.
Yes, the war was corrupt and fabricated. But if he just thought about it a little bit longer, most of the problems in the entire movie could have just been avoided. But I understand that it was the main plot point of this movie and really the glue, so I'll let it slide. So what doesn't make sense is the fact that Superman wouldn't notice all of these flying little video cameras that have been recording him the entire time that he's fighting this one dude. Just this one dude. No other fights were being recorded.
Are you recording me?
But this one guy gets all of these cameras that are very close to Superman, by the way, that are just broadcasting his entire fight. You're telling me that those aren't obvious? Especially since Lex, at the end, was talking through them. At that point, Superman should have been laser visioning them out of the sky, instead of taking 3 business days to call Crypto the Superdog to come and take care of them. Also,
spoiler alert,
how can a clone of Superman that was literally stated to be dumber and worse than him be stronger than him and able to beat him like most of the movie? Especially since a clone is not natural, it's fabricated. How can some test tube thing be stronger than the real deal? And if we want to look past that because he is a Superman clone, so he's just as strong as Superman or whatever,
spoiler alert,
Over.
how can the nanobot girl get the better of Superman? When she starts putting her nanobots into his mouth or whatever to stop him from the fight, shouldn't he have just used his ice breath and froze all of the little robots? He should be way stronger than she is. Things like this just really make you ticked at the movie because this is Superman and he doesn't even feel super. Lastly, Lex Luthor is supposed to be this calculating genius and sinister villain.
Why are you so evil?
But by the end, he just seems laughable, cartoonish even. I mean, he's willing to destroy the entire planet by creating this pocket dimension black hole that would swallow everything up, by the way, just to make Superman look bad. But guess what? You can't make a man look bad if everyone is dead. Also, the fact that he has a goonish, very excited to do evil posse that actually cheers whenever they curb stomp Superman by playing Mortal Kombat against him is just insane to me.
Very, evade, block. Uppercut.
The fact that Lex found a minimum of 20 people in Metropolis, anywhere from high school to middle-aged, with extreme tech knowledge and his same ideology about Superman is just baffling. What did he do? Send out a survey? Also, I know this isn't really a big deal, but if we're throwing logs on the fire, the nanobot woman did one of the most useless things I have ever seen on the big screen while she was in the Fortress of Solitude.
Are you dumb or just stupid?
She jumped backwards onto her palms, which I thought was gonna be her doing a back handspring to turn around to fight Crypto, but instead she just landed on her palms and then all of her nanobots just switched her around so she was standing up facing Crypto. I mean, this woman took 3 extra steps to turn around when she could have just turned around. You know, it's like that Spider-Man backflip meme, you know the one, but so much worse. Now for the details, which I give a 9 out of 10. From the cinematography to the costumes to the props, literally everything in this movie was just so good. I loved that Superman got his trunks back and that they didn't shy away from Guy Gardner's dumb haircut. Not to mention the visual effects seemed quite flawless and really great in this movie. I mean, it's 2025, and some of the movies nowadays look like they were filmed in 2010.
You disappoint me.
So I'm really glad that they took the CGI seriously. Also, it was a really nice touch with the Green Lantern fighting moments. It seemed just like Guy Gardner, and I loved it.
The attention to detail is excellent.
Now we're getting into the nitty-gritty of the full review. So here's your spoiler warning right now.
spoiler alert.
And let's get into the reasons for the rating.
Sex, baby.
There was a pretty heavy kissing scene between Clark and Lois, not to mention some non-explicit prostitutes and the fact that Jimmy Olsen was just pulling women like he had just a string of them.
The gross stuff.
The nanobots entering Superman's mouth, that was nasty. Also the fact that he had to pull like a yard-long string of them out of his mouth. Ew. Then he was just coughing and like saliva too.
Language.
This is one of the most disappointing moments in the whole movie, because for a movie about the literal poster child of a Boy Scout, they sure did swear too much. There actually wasn't a lot of swears in the movie, but the swears that they did say were just so intense.
Do you know any other words?
Like the fact that they said the JC Lord's name in vain, which is just so awful. I mean, leave blasphemy out of superhero movies. You want to say the other stuff? Fine, whatever. Just leave the Lord out of it. Anyway, there were 8 S words, 2 A words, 2 heavy uses of the Lord's name in vain, 1 B word, 1 D word, and 2 others. Not to mention a whole lot of finger flipping.
Time for violence.
It's a superhero movie. There's a lot of punching and kicking and superpowered beatdowns, not to mention a lot of guns, and also a brewing war. But I think the most shocking thing about this movie was that a man was shot to death right on screen by Lex Luthor as a means to make Superman talk, which is just crazy.
Oh, yikes.
And that hot girl dropped a man to his death. I mean, she's supposed to be the hero. I wanted to come out of this movie saying that nobody died, but I legitimately can't. And I think it's crazy that we got such a violent gun death on screen in a superhero movie. Also, Crypto basically rips Lex a new one by throwing him around like one of his chew toys, and then some.
But I will not be bullied by that.
Not to mention, there was also that pocket dimension cataclysmic event that happened that tore Metropolis basically in two, so you gotta figure some people died in that.
I almost died.
Overall, I give this movie a 5 out of 10. The only thing bringing this movie up to a 5 is the acting, the cinematography, the details, and the casting. You know, especially Nathan Fillion. Without all that, you really can't look past this slog of a story.
It's hard to get through.
It wasn't a bad movie per se, it was just a bad story. I mean, considering the strongest characters in this movie wasn't Superman is just kind of crazy considering the movie is about Superman. Also, where are the street level heroes anymore? Where are the people just doing things for their community? Why do we always have to have superhero movies dealing with cataclysmic events like every single movie? It just weighs you down, and there's so much more opportunity to just screw everything up. And that's kind of what happened with the story in Superman.
Then you had to just go and ruin the ride.
I really wish Superman was more super and he was more focused on Metropolis, because I went into this movie really wanting to like it, since the latest DC movie that I actually liked was Batman Forever.
That stubborn refusal to expire is driving us insane!
My favorite Superman was and still is George Reeves. I mean, it's the best of all worlds. Street level, he wins all the time, and he's super. There's conflict, yes, but you know he's gonna win. You know that every episode is going to resolve itself in a really fun way.
Now, another exciting episode in the adventures of Superman.
And that's what you want in a superhero movie. You don't want so much of life. You want an escape. And that's what was missing from this movie.
You're letting the sadness of the swamps get to you.
I will say I'm not really a big fan of DC, and I don't know the intricacies of Superman, but I also didn't know the intricacies of Spider-Man. And after I watched the first Tobey Maguire movie, it just made me want to dive into Spider-Man. And now I'm a person with tons of Spider-Man paraphernalia and several of the red and blue tights. But after seeing this Superman, I still don't want to dig deeper, and that's sad.
Wrap that up and give it to a child on Christmas, because we're done.
I hope you enjoyed the review. Make sure to comment down below your thoughts, and comment if there's a specific movie that you want me to do a review on. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe and click that little notification bell so that you never miss a review just like this. Also, if you click right here, you can enjoy the best K-pop group that I've ever seen before. And if you want to see any of my other reviews, click right here. It's a big old playlist. Also, you can click this and go straight to my channel to see literally anything else that I've got. Thank you so much for watching, and just remember, right here at Candid Cinema, it's okay to talk, it's okay to text, and I'll CC you later. Bye!